5 simple strategies that you can utilize to pay off your student debts faster than you ever thought possible? If so, stay tuned for this video. Hey everyone, my name is Rafael Collazo and welcome to the Millennial Moment. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the simple strategies that you can utilize to pay off your debts faster than you ever thought possible. Now, I've actually written an article about this concept, which I'll provide below, but I thought it'd be a good idea to create video content that provides more of an illustrative look at how you can actually utilize these strategies to pay off your debt faster. So in this scenario, we're going to take a freshly minted graduate, let's call her Ashley, and we're going to assume that she owes about the average debt of students that are graduating from college nowadays, which is about $35,000. Along with that, we're going to assume that her interest rate of this particular loan amount is 6.5%. So that's her interest. So her interest rate, 6.5%. And her term length is going to be equal to 15 years. So that means it's going to take her 15 years to pay off this entire debt. Now, next, we're going to show what the payment would be in this scenario, which, in this case, would be $304.89. So that means that every single month, if she wanted to pay off this debt in 15 years, she's going to have to pay $304.89 just to be able to satisfy the debt within that time frame. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a pretty unfortunate reality if that's really your scenario. And I definitely don't blame you for being very upset about your current circumstances. So given this reality, what do you think Ashley should do? Well, in this scenario, I'm also assuming that Ashley got a job as a graphic designer, which is what she studied in college, and her salary starting off is going to be $35,000. And she has a signing bonus of $3,000. So that means as soon as she signs her contract, her employer will give her a $3,000 check, and generally the signing bonuses are for moving expenses or just various different things that are required in order for you to get to the job and just start a life in a new place or a new environment that you're not used to. Now, the first strategy that I would recommend Ashley to look into is to take this signing bonus and throw it at her debt. So now you may be thinking, Raphael, well, maybe she's moving to a new town and she needs some money in order to make sure that she's able to move to a place, put down a security deposit on a place, and really just start her life in a new location. Although I agree with you that a lot of this money will probably need to be utilized by her, especially if she doesn't have any savings, to be able to pay off those various expenses, but she can do it economically. What if instead of hiring movers to take all her stuff to the new and trendy apartment, she instead elicits the help of her friends to help her pack all her things, and she drives a U-Haul truck to her new location. Not only that, but she can find an apartment that's affordable, that's in a safe area, that maybe doesn't require a huge deposit to be able to move forward with a lease. With all the extra money that she's able to save as a result of the signing bonus, she could throw it at her debt, and let's say that she's able to save $2,000 of this. She could then apply this $2,000 to that $35,000 debt, and now all she owes is $33,000 after pretty much a week or two of being employed with this new employer. So step number 1, if you have a signing bonus, throw it at the debt. Now the second strategy in this scenario is to contribute a little bit extra every single month. In my article, I share the possibility of Ashley contributing an extra $50 a month towards her debt payments. Now, if she were to take this route and you were to graph out how that would impact her debt repayment strategy, by paying an extra $50 a month, this debt is eliminated 3 years faster. Imagine for the cost of 4 or 5 lunches a month, you could be rid of this debt 3 years faster. Doesn't that make you feel pretty relieved of that particular concept? Now, I often get kickback by people on this particular approach because they say, Raphael, I can't contribute any more than I'm already contributing. I'm really up to the hilt on all my other expenses. However, if you actually looked at your expenses and looked what you were spending on each month, I guarantee you could find at least $50 to save each and every month that you could contribute to your student loan payments. Whether that's eliminating expenses related to different subscription services that you no longer utilize, or maybe you have cable that you really should get rid of because you can just use Netflix, or maybe you eat out every other day or every day and you can cut out some of those expenses right there. I guarantee you that if you take a hard look at your expenses, you can easily find $50 to save each and every month. So step number 2 is to contribute more each month. Now, this third strategy is something that I actually came across when I was researching more about real estate investment, and that's the concept of bi-weekly payments. Now, the reason why this is so interesting is that instead of making a payment at the first of every month to satisfy your monthly obligation for your student loan payments, you make 2 individual half payments each month, and it's actually interesting how the math works out. So if you were to make 1 payment each and every month, you'd be making 12 payments for the year. However, if you make 2 half payments per month over the course of a year, you end up making 26 half payments. Now, if you can do the math, 26 half payments ends up actually being 13 payments. So by making 2 half payments a month instead of 1 singular payment per month, you actually end up paying 1 extra payment per year. This translates to paying back your debt almost 2 years faster. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty awesome to me. So step number 3 is to make bi-monthly payments. Now, step number 4 is to deploy your raises and bonuses that you receive over the course of a year to pay off your student debt. Now, if you're a high performer, which I'm sure you are, over the course of a given time frame, you will be able to increase your salary and possibly receive bonuses for your efforts. With this increase in salary and this increase in bonus pay, it's very easy to get lifestyle creep happening in your life. What's lifestyle creep? Lifestyle creep is essentially you spending as much as you earn and keeping up with that with your subsequent increases in salary. So instead of living paycheck to paycheck when you're making just $35,000, you're living paycheck to paycheck with a nicer car and a nicer house when you're making 3 times that. That's definitely what you want to avoid in this scenario. And if you're able to deploy your raise money and your bonus money to pay off your student debts, you'll not only stay accustomed to the existing lifestyle that you have, which you're already used to, but this debt will get eliminated so much faster. So step number 4 is to deploy your raises and bonuses to pay off your debt. Raises and bonuses. Now, the 5th and final strategy that I like to share with you guys actually has to do with good old Uncle Sam. That's right, your tax refund can be deployed to help you pay back your debt sooner than you thought possible. If you make less than $80,000 gross per year, you're eligible to claim up to $2,500 in credit for the interest paid on your student loan. Given the fact that the average salary in the United States is anywhere between $40,000 and $50,000 per year, most people can claim this tax credit, especially if you're a newly minted graduate. So in most scenarios, if you're withholding tax and you're paying off your student loan debt, you most likely will have at least some refund at the end of the year. Let's say that you receive a large refund at the end of the year, which constitutes a $2,000 refund. If you were able to deploy this $2,000 refund until the student debt was paid off, so you'd essentially make a $2,000 refund payment every single year, you'd be able to pay off your student loans approximately 7 years faster than expected. Isn't it a huge weight lifted off your shoulders knowing that if you implement this strategy, you could possibly be able to cut your loan time in half? I don't know about you, but it's a huge relief to me. So the 5th and final step that I'll share with you guys today has to be deploying your refund as payment to pay off your student loans. Now, if we're going to take these 5 strategies and implement them together, what you see is absolutely astonishing. Just taking into account these 4 metrics, your signing bonus, contributing more each month, bi-monthly payments, and refunds, you would pay back your loan approximately 8.5 years faster. Since it's difficult to approximate what your raises and bonuses is, I took it out of this initial calculation. But it's easy to see that if you were to somehow get a higher raise and higher bonuses, this number would significantly improve your payback time, and you may be able to pay back your loan maybe closer to 10 years faster. Along with paying back your student loans extremely fast, you also save a significant amount in interest. How much do you ask? Well, interest savings actually amount to more than $12,000. What could you do with $12,000 in cash? Could you travel the world? Could you buy a nice car? Could you maybe put a down payment on a home in order to grow your wealth over time? This opportunity is available to you if you're willing to put in the sacrifices and put in the time to be able to implement these 5 strategies into your debt payback routine. Now, if you love the content of these videos, be sure to subscribe below. I regularly provide awesome engaging content for millennials every Monday and Wednesday. Not only that, but for a limited time, you can actually download my book below, The Millennial Playbook, Proven Success Strategies for the Millennial Generation, where I share actionable, engaging content that you can utilize to chart a course to a better life. Now remember, subscribe, like, and share below, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.